Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, day 5, we're going to kick off working on this S70. Very clean vehicle. Has about 76,000 miles on it. We're going to do a PVC, a heater core, some heater hoses. We're going to take care of a shifter knob, a hood release cable, and a few other things. He just put new tires on it. He's just getting it done so he don't have to fool with it for probably 2 or 3 years, other than maybe the brakes. And I can see a mild sign of the hood liner starting to unpeel. But at any rate, this is where we're starting off at. On these NA with the PCV system, I pulled this hose off here, disconnected that, laid that aside. I'm pulling the intake manifold now and probably had this PCV done. When you have these ETMs on the end of the throttle body like this, you do want to take this tube off so you can work around that. And then you need to disconnect that fuel line. You could do it with the fuel disconnect tool, or you could use 2 utility small screwdrivers, slide them in the end of the connector, and pull that connector loose. Then to get this intake manifold off, you'll have to pivot the bottom toward the front of the vehicle, and to get it back on, you got to pivot the bottom toward the front of the vehicle and swing it in through this between number 1 and 2. Right now we're riding in the 850 turbo model. It's a 96 vehicle, and it's experiencing some lag and some bogging down and hesitation. So several things have been done to try to resolve this issue, and it's not boosting. And it was taken to a shop and diagnosed as having low fuel pressure. So for some reason, the fuel pressure is not building properly, and the fuel filter has been replaced already. So the first symptom is when you go to start the car after it's been sitting in excess of 30 minutes, it normally doesn't start on the first crank. We hold the first crank for about 5 to 8 seconds. We let it go. After about 2 or 3 seconds, we turn the key again, and then it starts. The second symptom of the low fuel pressure is when we start out, you can feel the hesitation in the car. The car kind of bogs down a little bit, and it slowly builds up its speed. It can drive highway speeds, but if you punch it, it's just like you didn't punch it at all. It just barely gets any boost, if any, and it just picks up speed as if it was, you know, maybe a car dragging the town behind it. Okay, he's having a hard time releasing the hood, so we're going to replace the hood cable and then adjust the latches a little bit so we can get this hood to open better. You can replace the cable, do so, because those things are getting more and more frayed as time goes on, and you don't want one to break on you if you don't have to. Pretty much done with this one for today. We got the PCV done. As you can see, the hose is nice and soft. We also replaced just about every coolant hose on it. We're just about done for this car today. We got the PCV done, which you did have to disconnect this fuel connector and remove this hose here. We replaced the coolant hoses, the upper rad, the lower rad, and the 2 heater hoses, and the upper and lower coolant reservoir bottle hoses. We put a shim in the air conditioner compressor so that it would stop kicking off. We replaced the cable for the hood release. We went inside the vehicle and replaced the seat controller because it was not working. We replaced the heater core and the shift knob button. So we got several things done with this today. Took about 6 hours, but it's well worth it. Okay, this is the wagon that was having the hesitation problems. When he floored it,
it just squatted and rode as if he was barely pressing the gas at all. And he's done several modifications to the car, and it just wasn't boosting, and it was really bad low fuel pressure. So he just recently installed some upgraded NGK plug wires. The PCV's been done on it. He did the reverse intercooler piping. He installed the upper poly bushing. He put a few other silicone hoses on it, as you can see there. Even silicone hoses going to the vacuum ports and things like that. He's got an MDS ignition coil that was on the car from the time he bought it, and it just wasn't giving him any boost. Alright, this Platinum wagon, we replaced the fuel pump. Immediately the car's firing right up, first crank, and it's idling better. And when he hits the gas, the fuel pressure's there, it's got boost, and it's taken off. He left me a couple of times already tonight. And we also replaced the radiator in it, because the radiator that he had purchased had some bad connectors, and it was leaking oil and it was leaking transmission fluid. So he's good to go, and we'll be moving on after some meet and greets tomorrow, moving on to the next town.
This is the end of day 5. Got to work on a 99 S70, several things on that vehicle, and worked on that 96 Platinum wagon. And the strange thing about that was the fuel pump failure, low fuel pressure. And when we took the fuel pump assembly out, the hose that connects the fuel pump to the top of the assembly had a split in it. So it was pumping the fuel back into the tank. So that's just something else that if you have fuel pump issues, it might benefit you to take the fuel pump out of the tank and take a look at it to make sure it's nothing that you can fix. So this one had a split in the fuel line. The one before that I had to deal with actually had a broken wire. So these fuel pumps in these cars are not failing as much as they are having issues. So check those out. Thanks for watching. Look forward to day 6. Day 6, I'm probably going to stay in the Chicago area until about noon. And then in noon, I'm going to head into Michigan. I also need to stop at a salvage yard or two looking for a couple of parts. The gentleman that I helped with the S70 made a contribution towards keeping the trip going. That was great. And of course the guy with the wagon, Platinum wagon, he actually helped me do things on the S70 before we worked on his car. So just a great day. Looking forward to the next one.
If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.